What you see before you is my New Year's resolution from 2024. The goal was to paint one tiny picture of a cat every single day of the year until I filled up the entire canvas so that I could cover up this painting of a giant face that I did in high school that I really don't like. And if you're wondering what this is, don't worry about it. As you can see, I did not succeed, so it's just been sitting in our storage for more than a year at this point. But now I finally feel like I have the wherewithal to finally finish filling up this canvas. And so a few weeks ago, I asked you guys, yes, you guys, to send me some cat pictures so that I would have an incentive. And yeah, for this video, I'm going to finish my failed 2024 resolution by painting a bunch of tiny cats. Hi, my name is Emily, and I am mostly not a quitter. Before I start this project though, let me give you a tour of what I did draw. This is the robot cat from Heidi Lau. We have an imposter among us. Before we get painting though, the first thing I have to do is use some primer to just cover up all this pre-existing paint. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna let this dry for about 10 minutes and then hit it with the white. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Look at my very abstract cloud painting. Now I just gotta divvy this back up into 5cm squares. Either I'm really bad at measuring or this canvas is extremely unstraight. I mean, it is June. As for what exactly I plan to do once the canvas is completely covered, because I feel like displaying it in the state that it is a little unhinged, I did have plans to cut out each individual cat painting, mount it onto their own tiny little canvas frames. I feel like that might be a little tedious and annoying to do considering how many paintings we will have in the end. So I was thinking I could divide them into chunks, cut them out, and then stretch those into some bigger canvases. Not that I know anything about stretching canvases. What that means is that around each section of painting I'll have to leave a border so that I can attach it to a canvas frame. So one of the things that I found very annoying about painting these tiny little pictures is that I would squeeze out these tiny little dollops of acrylic paint onto my palette, but in the end I'd always end up with way too much paint left on the palette, which is why you see all these empty squares. That's me using up all the leftover paint. But I found that process very annoying, and then also having to prepare the brushes and the water, washing them all at the end of each painting, it just became too annoying for me to deal with. And that's why, to circumvent all of that tedious work, I'm going to use acrylic markers. I actually have another pack coming hopefully sometime soon, so I'll be using that as well. Just to get a feel for what it's like painting on this canvas with my markers, I'm going to first draw this picture of Mika. Ta-da! Mika. Can't believe I forgot this very important detail. His little blep. I was feeling like absolute hot garbo yesterday, but today I'm feeling much better, much more refreshed, so we can get started on the actual cat submissions. In total, I think I received about 109 responses, which is crazy because I literally thought I was gonna get 10 responses. Anyway, let's look at the first one. The first cat on our docket is Winston Churchill. Oh my god, this is an amazing picture. Oh my god. I'll try to insert the actual picture on screen as well so you guys can see in all its pixeled glory. Oh, I love seeing everybody's cats. Blue? Blue? One of these could work. Green. Let's get this light green. Eyeballs first. Waiting for things to dry will always be the worst part. I see what the problem is. The top perspective is all wrong, and that makes it look like a dog. While waiting for this to dry, let's look at the next submission. Lulu! Oh, what a sweetie. She's got pretty dark eyes, so I think I'm gonna have to improvise. I think the saddest thing about these submissions is that I won't get to share all of them with you guys, otherwise this video would be probably 3 hours long. but I will name drop as many cats as I can. Winston Churchill, Lulu. Let's get one more for this row. We have Tasha / Yar. Oh my god. All right, let's use this very regal portrait of her. I don't know why I decided to do freehanding for this project because it's so much more stressful, but also it's a lot more free, I guess I would say. As long as I stop worrying about accuracy, it should be fine. And I hope you guys are okay with me misrepresenting your cats. I'm also working on this in the least ergonomic way possible, so I need to find a new camera angle soon. I'm gonna try to do a 4x4 block here and then leave a 5x5 border around it. So let's see if we can get all 12 of these done in the next few hours. Okay, so I was going to put this on time-lapse, but look at this. The next cat's name is Squonk. Squonk! All right, time-lapse time. Something just came in the mail. So here I must perform a little time travel. You see, later in the video I will receive a package and I deem it prudent to introduce it now. This here is the 72 color acrylic paint pens that arrtx sent to me for review. These markers have massive ink tanks with 50% more ink than their other pens, and the pack also includes 3 types of interchangeable nibs: a 3mm medium tip, a 1.2mm round tip, and a brush tip. To change them up, simply hold the marker tip pointing up, carefully remove the tip with a paper towel, drop it in some water to prevent the paint from drying in the nib, and gently push in the new nib of your choice. To start drawing, give the pen a good shake to mix up the ink and pump the nib until it is fully saturated. With the brush nib, pump along the side of the cap to avoid damaging the fine tip. And remember that nib we dropped in the water, give it a good rinse and let it dry out before attempting to put it back in a pen. And also use paper towel instead of toilet paper for this, trust me. Because of the different nibs provided, you can switch between detailed work and broader work with the same pen depending on what your project needs. The colors are super vibrant and can paint on many types of crafting surfaces, including paper, rocks, fabric, wood, etc, etc. Though it's always good to test it on the surface first to make sure everything's hunky-dory. By the way, as a disclaimer, I am also using my arrtx brush markers in this video, just in case you're looking at the pens and thinking, wait, that doesn't look like the same pen. This 72 marker pack retails for $61.99 USD, and if you would like to grab your own arrtx acrylic markers, you can find the links in my description box. And now, back to drawing cats. I've decided that I'm going to try sketching out the pictures beforehand because this freehanding is not as easy on a canvas than it is on the little cat pins that I make. I'm just gonna use some colored pencil. So that is the second drawing I did with the sketch line beforehand. Does it involve one extra step? Yes. Does that mean the process takes longer? Actually, no. If anything, it's actually faster because I'm spending less time fixing the mistakes I made while I was freehanding. And I feel a lot more confident in what I'm drawing, and I feel like the likeness of the cat is a lot more accurate. So I think going forward, I will be doing sketch lines beforehand. Blep, blep. I don't know if I would want to redraw all the previous ones with this new technique just to make it fair. If I have any extra space at the end, maybe I will do that. So I had to do a few of these off screen because my camera did not like being turned off for so long, so let me give you an introduction. Mango salsa, Ginkgo. I actually did a commission for Ginkgo and her human recently. This is Minnie. Minnie looks just like baby Mika, except baby Mika looks... I'll let the picture speak for itself. And lastly, Kirby, and I don't really have words for him because he simply owns the room. My drawing elbow was killing me, so I went for a bike ride, and I also went to the thrift store just for funsies. I got, let me do the beauty guru thing, this little pin, this mystery ceramic thingy, and also to store my stickers, I got a bunch of these baseball card collecting sheets that you're supposed to put in a binder. And I was very excited about this, but then when I got home, I realized that I got rid of all of my binders. So I was just like going around the house looking for any binders that I can use. And I came across this one, a nice neutral color, and I opened it. So, there are perks to being a hoarder, and there are also downsides. At least it was only 50 cents per pack. Economics of Child and Spousal Support, November 1984. Where is this binder from? What kind of lawyer is out there collecting baseball cards? This is my most prized possession. If you are a lawyer who collects baseball cards, I apologize for the slander. But anyway, I decided to add more detail to Minnie and Kirby. The next cat on the list is Nitrous. You guys have such interesting names for your cats. Sorry, I said I wouldn't focus on the individual cats too much because I don't have enough time, but look at him! This is Boompus, and according to its human, he is 8 years old as of the day of submitting this photo. Happy birthday, Boompus! I love you so much. I hope you got that orange. Oh my god, guys. I think Boompus is living his best life. Yelp. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble drawing tabby cats. I'm so sorry, Bug, you look ghoulish. What am I doing wrong? Is this any better? I genuinely can't tell. Previously, the plan was to have a 4x4 painting with a 5x5 border, but I decided to add 4 more pictures to the bottom so that the border would match up with that random picture beside it. Alright, let's do a quick 4-cat blitz. So we have Coley, 2 Turkish stray cats, and my cone. Alright, so we got 20, well technically 19 because this one doesn't count. So we got 19 cat drawings done on the first day. I'm gonna take a break now and see you guys tomorrow. It is the next day. I'm about to draw some more cats, but I feel like I should probably find a more ergonomic way to be drawing. Same as before, I'm going to leave a border around the bit that's going to be painted, and we're going to start on this top left corner. At a recent con that I was at, where I was selling cat pins, somebody told me that doing cat merch is a very dangerous game because there's so many different kinds of cats out there that you will start getting requests and it will never stop. You'll keep finding new types of cats to draw and it never ends. And painting this giant painting has really introduced me to a bunch of cats that I have never pictured in my noggin before. 5-cat check-in. Here we have Moho and Bellini, otherwise known as Poo Poo Prince and Pee Pee Princess. Next we have Twig and Ember, and the last one here is also Ember. We got an Ember squad here. I've never used this golden one before. So I really am loving this using the pink pencil crayon to do the sketch layer. However, it is doing a number on my markers. Look at that, they're all turning pink. So I'm supposed to continue drawing in the next row, but Bellatrix's siblings, Mistral and Alvina, I want to put them together. So I'm gonna put them here, and then I guess I'll just continue this way. Oh my, I think that is the biggest cat I've ever seen. I find it is way easier to sketch out a bunch of them first and then paint all of them instead of sketching one, painting one, sketching one, painting one, etc, etc. Hey 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 is an amazing name, by the way. Also, happy early birthday! Everything's slowly coming along. Oh, somebody entered the room. I'm not sure how well you guys are able to tell over the camera, but there are little cat hairs stuck all over the canvas. So I once again took a day-long break because hand pain, elbow pain, shoulder pain. I'm feeling much better now. So let's get to drawing more cats. Once again, I'm going to expand horizontally because Momo here has a sibling named Sophie and I can't separate them. I wish I could get you guys closer to the canvas. Unfortunately, my tripod forbids it. And I figured this is probably a good time to explain why I failed this resolution. I feel like there's kind of this common misconception that all artistic people must also be super creative, and by that I mean super good at coming up with a bunch of unique ideas, and I am really bad at that. You know those art school assignments where you draw like 100 thumbnails of the same concept? I really struggled with those. So having to come up with one unique cat-themed idea every single day was a challenge for me. I started out well because it was during the holiday break and I had a lot of time, but once work started back up, I started losing steam and drawing things that I didn't really like, which really defeated the purpose of this resolution. I mean, what's the point of covering up something I don't like with more things I also don't like? But the final nail in the coffin for this project was I went on vacation. I had a lot of fun, but by the time I came back, I was super behind on this project and the idea of having to catch up on so many drawings sounded way too exhausting, and so I gave up. Like I said, I also wasn't having much fun with the project, so there wasn't much motivation to keep me painting. So I'm super grateful for you all for sending in pictures of your little kitty cats, and not only because that means I get to look at more cats, but it also means I have a ton of unique reference photos to work off of, and it's given me so much more steam to just keep plugging along with this previously failed project. So a super big thanks to everyone who submitted a picture, and here's Mika. By the way, this is how I filmed those close-ups. I was going to go back here and finally extend downwards, but I can't separate Daikon from his siblings, so I guess I'm expanding downwards from here. And I know I probably could have done that for the other sibling cats as well, but... Also, I did do a pin commission for Daikon before as well. Daikon is a flame point. I'm just gonna really quickly turn Daikon into a flame point. Ta-da! So this person says their cat Bagel is 13.5 pounds, which is about 6 kilograms. Well, let me tell you something. Mika is 8 kilograms. So, break it, buddies. As I'm slowly finessing this batch painting workflow and the style that I'm painting it, I'm getting a lot faster. Drawing these 5 cats took me around 30 minutes. If we go by that rate, I should be able to finish this entire painting in about 7 hours, so that's less than a day. However, drawing faster does not mean it is better for my arm, my shoulders, my elbow, so I'm gonna go take a break and watch my shows, and I'll be right back. Something just came in the mail. So I'm sketching out the next batch of cats while waiting for my camera to charge, and look at this. First of all, adorable cats. Second of all, I have this exact same book. Look at this. So there are a few things I have to keep in mind with this new marker. For one, I have to shake them. And for 2, I have to keep them tip side up, whereas the brush markers, I keep them tip side down. And when drawing, I have to be careful not to let it pull too much because, as you can see, it started dripping right here, and that's scary. No, look what just happened. I didn't wait long enough for the ink to dry. So I just finished drawing my first batch of cats using the 3mm round nibs, and I'm just gonna say that I much prefer the brush nibs. I feel like it's just so much more versatile, like on the go. And also I found that some of the colors of the new pack of markers I just received is very unopaque, like the peach one, for example, that I was using on this orange cat. It was very transparent to the point where it basically didn't show up. So I used a very similar color in my original brush marker pack, and it was so much more opaque, and I'm not really understanding why that is. See, this pale, very bright light yellow is pretty darn opaque. So it's not a case of light color equals translucent. Also, the ink flow on these markers is very potent, and I think that would work better on a more porous surface like wood or fabric or rocks. But on this primed canvas, which is not absorbent at all, it just kept beating up and acting all weird. So I think for my purposes at least, it would be better if the ink was less enthusiastic. And hopefully switching to the brush nib will achieve that. And so I'm going to be spending the rest of the night painstakingly replacing as many nibs as I can into the brush nibs. And I say that because the pack definitely does not come with enough brush nib replacements for all of the markers. And so I sat there for an hour just replacing the nibs and pumping them to full saturation. It was very tedious work, but it's nice to have the option to change out the nib to fit what you're doing. I also took this opportunity to fix up some of the cats in the last batch that I wasn't super happy with. Since Chloe's owner says she likes sitting in the sun, I'm going to try and give her some backlight. I've been drawing cats for so long that it feels like I must be almost done, but I'm not even halfway through all the submissions. So let's hustle. Let's see if I can get this corner done by the end of today. Look at this giant block all done! And tomorrow I'm gonna tackle this section. I feel like I should add her paw. I'm going to draw one more row for today, but tomorrow I think we can finally finish this big chunker. Not very smart, but I love him so much. I love this comment because that's basically the way I feel about Milo. Okay, 15 more cats. Let's do this. I think the thick markers will be perfect for this. Now we're down to the last 4. Alright, last batch of cats. Ooh, we've got our first dog of the submissions. Oh, these come in a 4. That's perfect. Oh, I'm sorry, Laika, but I did say I prioritize cats. Oh. Look at them cuddling together. Alright, so we got Ira, Javier, James, and Bob. Here are our last 4 cats. Honorable mention to Laika. I love you, Laika. I'm going to add this paw right over here. And now we just have to add the finishing touches and then we're ready for the final reveal. have my cat paintings. So in total, I got 114 submissions, and of those, I managed to tackle 92 of them. But some of these submissions come with more than one cat, so in terms of how many actual cats I drew, I did 118, represented on both of these canvases. There is some canvas scraps left, so I technically could have painted even more, but for the sake of my shoulders and limbs, I think I'm going to call this project a success the way it is. Speaking of my shoulders and stuff, my shoulder and my elbow has mostly recovered by now, but my hand is still feeling a little something, so the next few videos might be a more chill, just so I can let my hands rest up. I am so freaking proud that I actually managed to draw all of these cats. Oh, that is a weight off my chest. This giant canvas will no longer haunt me anymore, and I hope you enjoyed watching me paint all of these little cats. Once again, thank you to arrtx for sending me the acrylic paint markers that I used for these cat paintings. If you look in my description box, that's where you'll find the links to buy those markers. Thank you for watching this video, and if you submitted a cat photo, thank you so much. I'm sorry to anyone I didn't get to, but still, thank you anyway. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye! And that's a fact. A rock fact.